Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, student. How are you? How are you? Okay, great to hear that you are all fine there. Stay safe for this situations, these current situations about virus corona. And now, are you ready to join this lesson again with me? Okay, if you are ready, show me your smile. Okay, just smile. If you are ready, smile. Okay, smile and you will feel more happier. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about conditional sentence. We are going to identify their pattern, their rules, and then their difference, and do some exercise in the book. Okay, you can open your book page 93. Can I have a question for you? I have a question for you. The question is, if you have a lot of money, what will you do? Interesting, right? If you have a lot of money, what will you do? Okay, imagine that got uh, you got a bag of money from your parents, maybe. Okay, what will you do? Okay, maybe some of you will make your room like this. It is a gaming room, right? With three monitors and then with good chairs to play a game. Okay. Or maybe some of you will use your money to watch football match. Okay. In Camp Nou Stadium, Barcelona. Okay. And then maybe some of you also will eat uh, anything you like in restaurants. Okay. Okay. So now go to the part 3, part grammar, first and second conditional. Okay. So in this part, we are going to match the 1 to 3 with A to C to make sentences from the radio program. If you transfer your card, what will be happen? And okay, so we will match this part with this part. Okay, starting from number 1. Okay, if you transfer your card, okay, what clause that best uh, to complete the sentence? If you transfer your card, so also you will probably pay as little as 3%. Okay, and then number 2, if I did that, okay, what is the best answer? Okay, if I did that, I wouldn't be able to afford things like holiday and going out for dinner. And then so number 3, if I were you, I'd use the money to pay off your student loan. Your student loan. Okay. Okay, and then for B, part B, match the example in 3A with these uses. Okay, which sentence which sentence uses to give advice to someone? Give advice, which sentence? 1, 2, or 3? Yes, 1, 2, or 3? Give advice? 3, good. Okay. And then which sentence uses to talk about situation we think is real possibility? No, real possibility. Which sentence? 1, 2 or 3? 1 or 2? Okay, I'm sorry. One or two? Good. One. If you transfer your card, will probably pay as little as 3%. Okay. The number three, to talk about situation we think it is imaginary or less likely to happen. Number two, if I did that, I would be able to afford this thing like holidays and going out for dinners. Okay, so we call this kind of sentence as conditional sentence. So, conditional sentence or if clause. Okay, now what is conditional sentence? Okay, look at this explanation. There is first and second conditional sentence. Okay, we can use both first conditional and second conditional to talk about future possibilities. The first conditional describe possible or likely future event and the expected result of those events. Okay, the first conditional describe possible or likely. Use if, present simple, and will. Okay, if I save a little every month, I'll be able to afford a new car soon. Okay, for the second conditional, we use the second conditional to talk about imagined event or status and their consequence. They can be about the unreal present or unlikely future event. Okay, so conditional to talk about future possibilities. The first talk about the possible or likely future event, and then the second to talk about unlikely future events. Okay, in the second conditional we use past simple and would. Okay, see the difference. The first conditional use present and will. The second conditional use past and would. Okay, if I had £1 for every time I've heard that, I'd be millionaire. If I save £50 every month, I'd have enough for a new computer by the end of the year. Okay. To make it clear, look at the example in this part. Okay. Example number one. If we go to Spain, it will cost a lot of money. Okay, are we going to Spain? Go and will. So first conditional. Are we going to Spain? We don't know. It is possible. And then, is it possible? Yes, it is possible. Is it true that it will cost a lot of money? Yes, it's true. Okay. And then the second example, if I had a lot of money, I'd like to go to Spain. I'd like to go to Spain. Am I going to Spain? No. If I got a lot of money? No. Would you like to go to Spain? Yes. Then the third, if I went to Spain, I'd visit an old friend in Madrid. Am I going to Spain? We don't know. Is it possible? Yes. It is likely? No. Okay. Which sentence is real possible? That is sentence 1. Real possible because it used a first conditional. And then which sentence is imaginary? Sentence number 2. Imaginary. And which sentence is unlikely to happen? Sentence number 3. Unlikely because we don't go to Spain maybe. Okay, so number 1 use the first conditional, 2 and 3 use the second conditional sentence. Okay, and there are some tips here. We use the phrase if I were you to give advice. Okay, for example, if I were you, I wouldn't borrow so much money. Then second tips, we can use going to instead of will. So if I see her tomorrow, I'm going to tell her my news. Okay. Then goes to the part C. What's the main difference between the example 3a and the example below? Choose the correct answer. Okay, if you transfer your card, you'd probably pay as little as 3%. If I do that, I won't be able to afford things like holidays and going out for dinner. Compare this sentence with this sentence in the 3a. Okay, if you transfer your card, you will probably pay as little as 3%. In this sentence, if you transfer your card, you would probably pay as little as 3%. Okay, and then if I did that, I wouldn't be able to afford things like holidays and going out for dinner. If I do that, I won't be able to afford things like holidays and going out for dinner. Okay, so what is the difference between those sentences? Are the speaker is talking about the different period of time, or the speaker think the situation are more or less likely? What do you think? The first or the second? Number one or number two? The difference on the different period of time or on the more or less likely to happen? Okay, good. The answer is this. Number two. Okay. So the difference is on the possibilities, more or less likely to happen. Okay, now goes to part E. Are the situation real possibilities for you or not? Make first conditional or second conditional sentence for each one. Okay, so you think or you give your opinions about this sentence. Okay, do you think it is possible and use the first conditional, or do you think that it's maybe it is not possible and you can use the second conditional? Okay, I give you an example. Number one, if I get a loan from bank, okay, loan from bank, I able to buy new car. Okay, for me, if I get a loan from the bank, I will be able to buy a new car. I will use the first conditional sentence in here because I think that it is very possible to happen. Maybe if I get loan from bank for about uh, 1 billion, I can buy a new car. Okay, how about you? Okay, how about you? What do you think about these sentences? Okay, please think and give your opinion. It is possible or not to happen. If possible, you can use the first conditional, and if not possible, you can use the second conditional. Okay, please send your sentence to me through a chat box or directly send a message to me. Okay, and for your further exercise about conditional sentence, you can do it on page 148. Okay, now we have reached the end of the activity today, and we have learned about the first and second conditional sentence and understand the pattern and then the rule and the difference between the first conditional and the second conditional sentence. Okay, and also we have done a practice making a conditional sentence, and I think it's enough for today's meeting, and thank you for your attention, and see you See you again tomorrow or other days. Now, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.